Eden.
Brock.
Okay. We're going to play a game. Shag, marry, kill. The different ways to have a potato. Round 1. French fries.
Okay.
Tater tots. Hash browns. Shag, marry, kill.
Ooh. Do I really have to kill any of those?
You do.
Okay. I'm going to say, let's shag the tater tot.
Uh-huh.
Let's marry the hash brown
Oh.
because I really do feel like you can't go wrong. Like you could like refry a hash brown, make it a latke, you know? And
Sure.
I can't believe I'm saying this. I really can't believe I'm saying this because this was like my main source of food for like 2 years. Kill the French fry?
What? Okay.
Because here's why.
Okay, go. Yeah.
For my own health.
Okay, sure.
Because otherwise it would be a series and you know what I actually do think it's easier to mess up a French fry than it is a tater tot or a hash brown. Like I've had bad French fries. I like
Sure.
You know, like you can, so maybe just like let's just destroy the concept of
Interesting. Okay, so I would reverse it. I would absolutely shag a tater tot. That's something I want to have a tryst with in a fair. I'm not getting it every time I'm at a restaurant, but just like if I'm feeling a little like saucy, I'll get a tater
it's
tot.
not an everyday thing.
Correct.
It's a special treat.
And then marrying the tried and the true, which is the French fry. But then I have to kill the hash browns because I think that can go a little bit more wrong because I like them a very particular way. I like it a little crispy on the outside, a little soft on the inside.
Hold on. I just realized, how are we picturing these hash browns? Are we picturing like cubed, like, quarter
like
potato?
Frozen from Eggo, or are you talking like from Denny's?
Or no, but are you talking about shredded?
Correct.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Those are like home fries. No, not home fries. What are they called? They're called something else when they're like
the hash brown
cubed.
patty. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah. No. I'm talking about like sometimes like at restaurants. Like
the shredded from These are the ones I'm referring to.
Other type of potatoes, and they'll call them hash browns. They're like just like sliced potato.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's not what I'm about.
Okay, round number 2.
Yeah.
Baked potato,
Okay.
curly fries, or breakfast potatoes.
What the hell is breakfast potatoes?
So those are like little tiny cubed potatoes that come like on the side of your eggs Benedict. If it's not a hash brown, it's those.
Okay, I think that's what I'm talking about. Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Baked potato, curly fries, and then breakfast potatoes.
I mean, off the bat, kill a baked potato.
Correct. Retweet. Yep.
No, thank you. Gross. Why? And then I think we're gonna, again, kind of like the tots, I think we're gonna shag a curly fry. Like,
okay,
you could,
okay.
I mean, I could marry them, but like maybe it might get a little much. Like, I don't know if I want to spend the rest of my life with them. I want to have a tryst. I do.
Okay. And
I guess, yeah, marry. I guess I have to marry the breakfast potatoes then.
Okay.
I'm marrying breakfast.
I guess so. I'm down to kill the baked potato like you.
Yeah.
I'm marrying the curly fry because they're going to keep that marriage interesting. Am I going to get a tight spiral? Am I going to get a long, just singular curl? Am I going to get like a little bit?
Are you going to get a truffle on there?
Correct.
Are you going to get a little like spicy? Yeah.
And there's always a reliable crunch on a curly fry, point blank, and the period. And then, I'll have a little fun expedition with a breakfast potato as long as the seasoning's good and it's cooked to perfection. So that's what I'm doing.
Sure. You know what? Sure. I can get on board with that.
Okay.
I think we can. I do think we can agree that we are definitely destroying a tuna baked potato, though, right?
Absolutely. Spudsy Malone's would go out of business because of me. I'm not going there. I'm not spending my hard-earned podcast money at Spudsy Malone's.
No, thank you. Which leads us perfectly, as you can tell, to today's episode that we are recapping, episode 503, the potato, with moreover, with our guest today is the legendary, absolutely a comedy icon, legendary Rachel Dratch, who played Principal Barker.
All that and so much more. So let's get to nervous middling because Eden and I are very nervous. Welcome to Middling with Eden and Brock, where Eden and I break down an episode of The Middle each and every week.
Brock, we had quite a night last night.
We did. It was you It was me, it was your heels, and it was your ballet flats that you brought in your purse.
And I folded up and put in my little... I left my fanny pack in the car, though, I will say.
Yeah, you do love a fanny pack as a mode of, like a bag for you.
Yeah, I was like, oh, shoot, how am I... So I couldn't fit... I had to have Brock hold my phone and wallet in his pockets because all I could fit in my little bag were my fold-up ballet flats. Lord knows I was not staying in those heels all night.
So here's what happened last night. So Eden invited me to go to Juicy Scoop's 10-year anniversary, which is Heather McDonald. She watches the show. Thank you, middle. Yeah. It was her 10-year anniversary of her podcast. And he was like, do you want to be my plus one? And I said, yes. And so we get there. We do the red carpet. Eden looks, gorgeous. The lip was right. The eye makeup was right. The hair was looking good. She was in this purple jumpsuit with a sensible but stunning heel. And the moment the red carpet finished, we entered and she goes, we have to find a corner for me to put my high heels because I need to put on my ballet flats.
We just stuck them in. Brock found a nice, sensible corner for my sensible heels.
And you looked at me and you go, no one's going to steal these, right?
I don't think so. No, I don't know. Not with those Dr. Scholl's inserts. And I have to say, credit where credit is due, Brock. You also looked fantastic.
Oh my gosh, thank you.
Oh, that loose collared shirt business with the unbuttoned just the right amount.
There's just a tasteful amount of unbuttoned, so you could see the necklace, a little bit of chest, no chest hair. That was your question when I called you. I said, should I do one button or 0 buttons? You go, well, how much chest hair is there? And I go, none. And you said, you could do the unbuttoned, the one button.
Oh yeah, and it looked fantastic. And those pants, we didn't even talk about those pants. Those fit you great.
Thank you. I was sporting Zara and Jeff Bezos last night because I had Amazon jewelry on and Zara pants.
I love that we talked about that. We love saying we were sporting Jeff Bezos.
Yes. But that was so much fun. It is so funny because whenever you go to these events, guys, like you go and there's a combination of people you recognize at these events and then people you know are someone, but you don't know who they are.
Yeah, like their hair and makeup is too good to not have had professionally done. But why?
And they're like too stylish to be a plus one, so you know that they are someone. And it's just like we have conversations with our drinks in hand and we're in our conversation, but you just see these our own eyes dart around as we're trying to clock who's walking in, who's talking to who, where Heather McDonald is. I
think that's honestly a true friend. One that's like, we both know what we're doing. Like we love each other. Because sometimes it can feel like a little like schmoozy or a little like if you're talking to someone you're not very good friends with and they're just like kind of looking away from you, like looking off in a corner. It's kind of like, okay, can you just have a conversation with me? Can you not? But when you're with someone you're very close with, we are not even making eye contact once.
And we're in the middle of our conversation. She's like, so my mom did this. Oh yeah, Dr. Drew's there. And then we're like talking. And I was like, oh yeah, Abby Lee Miller's over in the corner. And just like interjecting that in our conversation. Okay, and this morning I went looking for our photos from the red carpet. There's gorgeous ones of you, gorgeous ones of me. There's not a single one of the two of us. I don't know. None of the photographers put them online.
That's so unfortunate. We took great ones together. That was honestly like low key. That was our I don't want to say main goal, but like that was a goal of ours.
Yeah.
We were like, there's gonna be a red carpet. We don't have any pictures together. That's so great. We're gonna get some together. Not a one. Oh. Okay, I'm going to search.
There is
a
15-second video of you and there's like the video of us on the carpet. It's like super blurry and like out of focus and stuff, but like, us shifting down and switching positions and looking here and looking there.
Oh, that's a bummer. Okay, I'm gonna do my own little research.
Oh, okay.
I'll see if I can find something.
What's new with you? Are you ready to go? Okay, so this comes out, Eden, on July 30th. Well, we have transitioned from London to Scotland. Where are we in the UK at this moment?
I'm fully in Edinburgh right now then.
Love. When do you start? When do your performances start?
July 30th. Oh, tonight.
Oh.
Tonight, if you're in the UK, come to my opening. Maybe there won't be tickets left at that point, but there are tickets. Only one night is sold out. Yeah, Saturday is totally sold out. I think the Monday, because I'm only doing 6 performances.
Oh, right.
So that Monday is pretty low. It might be sold out by the 30th, but
it's not.
Come on down. There are always also tickets. They're like they reserve like 10 tickets for like day of. So if you're in the UK, I mean, really, if you're in Edinburgh, but it's not that far. We're taking a train from London to, well, we're taking a train from London to Glasgow first, and then Glasgow to Edinburgh. But it's only like, I think it's less than 4 hours.
And also, Eden, don't listen to this. And listeners, if it's sold out, just DM Eden on Instagram and say you're available if she needs an extra stagehand. She loves non-union work and will work you to the bone, but at least you'll get to see the performance.
I want to be clear that this is a completely contrived bit. It's not even based off of like a grain of truth. I have never in my life supported non-union.
You are a union queen.
I really am.
Yeah.
I am truly like LAUSD, like teacher, like union for life.
Yes.
For the record, how dare you, Rob? How dare you, of all the things.
But that being said, if they're offering, you'll take it.
Oh, this is how I made my Scottish friends.
Wait, really?
Yes, I'm not kidding. Like, shout outs Struan and Tony. On my second performance of when I did it in 2023, there were these two fabulous men, just like the kindest hearts in the front row. I freaked out. My second performance, I thought I did so badly. I came out and I was like cleaning up my like flower petals, because there are flower petals in it, and I had to like clean up my stage in like 5 minutes flat for the next performer, and they saw me just like I was like coming out like and they were like, I was like, are you okay? I was like, yeah, I'm fine. Literal, just like audience members. And they were like, do you need help cleaning up? And I was like, yeah, actually, could you? They helped me clean up. We became friends. We got a drink after. We're still friends to this day.
Oh my gosh, how fun.
I know, I'm going to see
them. You
them.
have the best fans.
What?
You have the best fans.
I know. Well, the thing about Edinburgh, I will say, they were like sort of fans of the show. They knew the show. They really just came because they thought the show looked, like they're fans of the middle, but they weren't like super fans of the middle. They just thought my show looked interesting, and they were like, yeah, your show is really good. So like, I do, you know what? I do attract a good audience though. Good people.
Good. Eden, we have so much to get to today, so should we get to some middle minutes?
Let's do it.
Episode 503, The Potato. Wanting to save up to get her own car, Sue gets a job at a mall eatery, Spudsy Malone's. Meanwhile, Frankie and Mike find out that Brick isn't attending his classes and are called into the principal's office, and Axel tries to avoid his terrible roommate.
I can't, was this the intro of Kenny?
No, he was in 501, I believe. This is his second episode.
Okay. Yeah. This episode was written and directed by two staples of the middle. Written by Tim Hobart and directed by Lee Shalit-Chemmel. The
guest cast this week, we have iconic Rachel Dratch as Principal Barker, Dirk Torsick back again as Reverend Haver. Got a healthy guest star for Reverend Haver this episode. Tommy Bechtold as Kenny, Jimmy Bellinger, his first appearance as, he's just listed as manager for this episode. And then in his next episode, which is a little bit later on in season 5. I think it's the kiss one where you keep getting kissed by a Glossner at the mall. Remember that?
Right.
That's his second episode, and that's when they finally named him Edwin. But for this episode, they just named him manager. And we have Jessie Land as Beth, who's on level 5 of World of Warcraft.
Right. And I did see that backfiring the second he brought her in.
Sitcom characters can never get what they want.
No. Otherwise, what are we watching?
Right.
I do have to say, it does make me, it makes me laugh every time, because we've talked about this before, but Tommy who played Kenny is like such a talented comedian and such a talented improviser. You don't even see his face.
I know. I can't wait. Whenever we do have him on, we have to ask him about his audition, and I also want to ask what would the notes were from Eileen and Deanne or the writers' room of here's the kind of person we need cast.
Yeah.
Okay, what do you do with that?
Truly one of the most talented glorified extras ever. He does eventually talk, but yeah. This episode aired October 9th, 2013 at 8/7 Central to a whopping wonderful 8.25 million viewers.
That's really good.
Yeah.
Top movie of the week was Gravity. Did you ever see that? It's with Sandra Bullock and George Clooney.
Did I?
It's so
No, that's
good.
not the one with Matthew McConaughey. I think I did see Gravity, actually. They're in space, right?
Yeah, they're in space, and like George Clooney dies like in the first like 10 minutes.
Oh, okay.
And
I was
so
like,
Sandra
wow,
Bullock,
spoiler.
yeah, Sandra Bullock is like left alone to get back to Earth via like a broken spaceship. So she has to go to the Chinese spaceship that's orbiting around the Earth and has to like come down to Earth. It's like so good. It's 90 minutes, but action packed and so good.
90 minutes. That should be the legal maximum for any movie. Wow. Good for them.
It's my love language, 90-minute movies.
Oh.
And top song of the week was Royals by Lorde.
Oh, this was, wow, really? Was this a repeat week? Like, did it come out in 2013?
So I think it was also, I can't remember, we'd recapped with Alfonso, which was 505. I think Royals was still the number one spot.
Okay.
So it's been around for a little bit and continues to stay around, Lorde.
I love that album. I think is one of the most, maybe it's just because it was in like my real formative years. And I also listened to it when I was like going through a bad breakup. Or like, I don't know what I was going through. Maybe, I don't know. I was going through something, but that album is so good. There is not one dull song. I love Lorde. I will always love Lorde.
Can I actually tell you something? As I was driving home on the 405 last night, and I was listening to No Broke Boys, No New Friends, the new song. I'm sure you've heard of it. I literally thought to myself, I was like, what kind of music does Eden listen to these days? Because I'm guessing it's not some electronic No Broke Boys, No New Friends. Don't tell me shit, giving me my tens. You know, I'm sure it's not.
It's like Here Comes Science by They Might Be Giants.
Oh, okay.
And like Taylor Swift.
Okay. You like Chappell Roan?
Oh, I love Chappell Roan,
Okay.
and my kids love Chappell Roan also, actually. So we do
okay.
listen to Chappell Roan. I'm like on a break from Chappell Roan though. Like I have to because they just want the same song over and over, like one song over and over and over and over and over. So like I have to show them a new song, have them hate it, even though I know they're gonna love it, just so that they can like have heard it. They have to have heard it once. So then that's how I got them into Taylor Swift.
Oh,
but I don't know if they're like I don't know if they're into Lorde. We'll see.
We'll find out. Well, Eden, let's break down this episode.
Let's do it.
Okay, Eden, 503 first thoughts.
First thoughts, what was going on with my hair?
Well, what's going on with your hair?
I don't know. I had like weird, like there was like humidity or something. There was like a thing on my forehead, I feel like the whole time. Also, I can't get over how my hairline, my hairline has receded in my life.
That's age, baby.
But no, I can't believe this was the introduction of Spudsies.
I know.
Actual first thought, I can't believe how much I ate with those braces.
I wrote a lot of notes about that.
I couldn't believe. And honestly, Rachel Dratch was very funny.
She was so funny. She was so funny. And like even in her line delivery, I was like, "Oh, she's giving me that like that je ne sais quoi of Rachel Dratch that everyone has come to know and adore and
she
wants
really
when they
did
see her on
come
screen."
in. Yeah, she really did come in fully formed. We talk about it in our interview a little, so I won't spoil it, but like it's funny that she has like, anxiety about making choices and stuff because it seems like she just like really comes into something just lasers in.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought it was a fabulous episode. The thing that I only fixated on the most was the Spudsies aspect because I was like, I have a personal stake in Spudsies because I worked at the hot dog place right next to it.
Right.
But I think I was a little biased. I like that storyline the most because, I don't know. I always like your storylines the most because I'm sometimes in those storylines. I have a personal stake
You are
in
also mentioned by name.
I sure am. I was watching with Cameron and I was like on the couch. I was like kind of leaning back watching it and you said, yeah, Brad and I kind of like perked up a little bit. Like this.
I've had that before where I've been recurring in something and I'll be watching an episode and I'm like, oh, I'm not in it, but I am. I'm reminded. Everyone's like, remember me? Remember her?
Awesome. Should we break it down?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Okay. So first beat. After a very pointed service from Reverend Haver, he takes back the church van the Hex have commandeered for way too long, leaving Sue vehicleless. Knowing she can't go back to riding the bus, Sue comes up with a weekly car schedule that would require... She comes up with a weekly car schedule that would require Brick to drive, but only for one block. That was a better adjustment, right? That was a better setup for the payoff.
Yeah.
Just trying to do it like you. And when Mike reminds her that Axel pays for his own gas and insurance, it dawns on Sue. She's 16 and can get a job.
Mm-hmm. Okay, here are my first thoughts. I had to go back. I had to rewind.
Okay.
Because I was like, where is this?
The church?
No. The church, I rode my bike past it every single day.
Yeah.
When I was doing my rounds of, biking. No. When we're walking.
I know. I think I have an idea, but go. Where do you think it is?
I don't know where. Here's what I think, because I think we do the exact same path at the very end.
Correct.
And I was like, oh, that's the animation building. Like all the way you see a building at the end. I was like, oh my God, what pathway if that's the animation building, then it has to be like, I know geographically where it technically has to be, but it has to be the far south end of the lot.
South end. Yes, I think that's where it is. Correct.
It has to be. And I never went there. I could not. I rebounded. I watched it 3 times. I was like, I have no idea where this is.
Yeah.
I have no idea where this is in the lot.
Because I believe that wall of greenery that you're walking next to, I think literally 5 feet away is
Hollywood
real life streets. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
think the other side
it's on
of
the
that
very, very, very edge. And I'm pretty sure on the other side of you, so there's real life streets on the other side of that wall are sound stages.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
No, not sound stages.
Oh, then I'm thinking of a different
They're
side
bungalows.
of the bungalows. Oh, I know what side of the ranch they're talking about. I was thinking it was behind our soundstage.
No,
but you're
no,
right.
no.
You're right.
Definitely not. There was no greenery there.
You're right. It's barren. Okay, the bungalows. Then I do know where the bungalows are.
It's on the south side. It's on the not that this doesn't mean anything to anyone who is listening, but I was fixated. I watched it 3 times. I was like, I've never been stumped before.
Yeah.
I've never ever been stumped. I was completely stumped.
And that's also because this is the first time I've seen the church. Maybe it comes back between season 1 Christmas and now. I'm sure it does. Or I guess we saw it with Aunt Edie during when it was she forgot it was her birthday. I was trying to think because all the churches the sets are changing. The different times we've been inside church, I feel like they've looked different each time.
Oh, inside. Oh yeah. I don't know what the hell that.
They're all different interiors. So they've switched churches,
no.
which makes sense because Reverend Haver dumps them from church for a while. We have not a deleted scene, but a deleted ending. When you're walking down this path. Yeah.
Hold on. I can't believe I thought I remembered, and maybe it was from yet another Sue speech where she is holding posters and has green lines. I thought has lines. Was there not a huge deleted part of that speech?
It is. Scroll down. There's a deleted section. There's more to your presentation.
Okay, because I remember I was like, oh, here we go. The longest speech I've ever had to do in my entire life. And I was like, that's what they kept.
So so first, before we get to that, because I do need you to perform that deleted section for us.
I absolutely will. I bet I still have it memorized.
We do have, so as you're walking down the path where we've now determined that it's the bungalows on one side and the street on the other side, Frankie goes.
Oh, Frankie goes. Right.
Frankie, are you there? Frankie?
Got it. Ugh, my feet are killing me. Why do I wear heels to church? It's not like the guest minister who looks like Brian Williams is ever coming back. Okay, sorry. Here we go. Okay.
Frankie.
Here we go. Take 2. Ugh, my feet are killing me. Why do I wear heels to church? It's not like that guest minister who looks like Brian Williams is ever coming back.
Frankie drops all her crap, sits on the jumbo roll of toilet paper, and kicks off her heels. Mike says...
Oh, it's me the whole time.
Yeah, let's do it.
No, the Colts game starts in 20 minutes, and I've got a couch and half a turkey and Swiss from Joe Subs waiting for me. Let's go. We've got 2 more miles tops.
Mike pulls Frankie up. She plucks one of Mike's beers from the plastic and pops it.
Mom!
Sue says, yeah. Then Frankie says...
Relax. It's not like I'm driving. Yeah, that's funny.
And then also, there's a bigger payoff when you find out that, Axel's the one chomping on that sandwich the moment they walk into the house.
Oh, that is a bigger payoff. Yeah. Oh, I get it now. Oh, yeah.
But, okay, so we're still on the Sue storyline, though. So before we get to Axel, that whole poster board thing, I was looking at it. We talk about it, a lot of times, but the way that the props are so keyed in on the specificity, because I was girl, believe me, I was looking. each poster board, it's not like they made a same template with different things drawn. They had to hand drew new ones for each poster, because even how you wrote like Frugal Hoosier or something was, you know, it was in the same spot, but it was written differently. So they'd like handwritten it, so it wasn't exactly the same. It's incredible.
It is. I was honestly, I have to be honest, this was one of the most frustrating days, I think, on The Middle in 9 years that I've ever had.
Wait, why?
This speech was hard.
Oh.
I'm usually good at these, like, I can get these, like, downs. I could not. Maybe that's why they ended up cutting it. But I, like, I kept... This was difficult because it was so many logistics. It's like how I imagine if I were like on a, you know, like a crime procedural.
Sure.
Having all the jargon.
Right.
That's what it felt like. It felt like I was just memorizing nothing. There was nothing like grounding me in this speech.
Wow. I thought it was great. And then you didn't think of the old trick like on the back of your poster board to tape your speech?
No, that never works, Brock. You cheater. No. No, it never comes off as good. I felt like I could sense my anger. I felt like, oh, this performance is not as good because I could just feel me being like, ah!
Wait, now I need to go back and watch it.
On Monday, I'll drive Mom to work and Dad'll pick her up on his way home from the quarry. Then, after wrestlorette practice, I'll grab Brick from the library and Dad'll drop Mom at the Frugal Hoosier on his way to his softball game. Now, Tuesday might get a little complicated.
So there is a little deleted middle section of your presentation. Do you mind reading this for us, Eden? Sue, of course.
I don't. Let's see. All right, here we go. All right. Dad, you're the blue line, Mom, you're the red line, and I'm the green car keys. On Monday, I'll drive Mom to work, and Dad'll pick her up on the way home from the quarry. Then, after wrestlorette practice, I'll grab Brick from the library, and Dad'll drop Mom at the Frugal Hoosier on the way to pick up his softball game. Nope, on the way. See, this is okay. Then after wrestlorette practice, I'll grab Brick from the library, and Dad'll drop Mom off at the Frugal Hoosier on the way to pick it. See, oh my God, I think I remember doing this on the way. I kept saying on the way to pick up his softball game. Oh my God. Okay, I'll slow it down. Let me slow it down.
Yeah. Take a breath.
Then, after wrestlorette practice, I'll grab Brick from the library, and Dad'll drop Mom at the Frugal Hoosier on the way to his softball game. Brick and I'll pick Mom up out front after she shops. That's right. I remember. Oh my God, this is all coming back to me. I was so pissed. I don't think.
This
I don't
is
say this
when you say
written.
Brick and I'll pick Mom up. This is the section that got cut.
Okay, here we go. Brick and I will pick Mom up out front after she shops. Then Mom will drop me at my teen peer advisor meeting and head home to make dinner for Brick. Dad'll pick me up on his way home from softball, unless he's going out for a beer with the guys, in which case Mom would have to pick me up and Dad would have to pick up dinner for all of us on his way home from the bar. Now, Tuesday might get a little complicated. Okay. This is truly, it was, because it was just so much, it was, I can't.
Oh God, she's going through the emotions.
I'm going through it again. Because you know what it is? You can't, like, I was just reading it, but you do have to have highs and lows and different, you have to still act.
Well, you have to have that
transition
transition of like, into the softball game, but then, and blah, blah, blah. You have to weave the story.
In which case, Mom would have to pick me up and Dad would have to pick up dinner for all of us on his way home from the bar. Now, Tuesday might get a little complicated.
Right.
Oh,
Well,
man, yeah.
I'm gonna need to see those bloopers.
What?
I'm gonna need to see those bloopers for sure.
Let's move on.
Hold on. There was one thing I had to ask you. I don't recall this. Maybe if you recall it. On the poster board, I zoomed in Fry and Drive. Was that a burger spot that you guys ever mentioned in the show? Or was that something made up by props when they wrote the poster board?
I don't know. There's definitely, we go to a drive-through sometimes.
Yeah, I know that. I wonder if they ever gave it a name. But the props department gave it Fry and Drive.
Okay.
Probably for you to reference for picking up dinner on the way home. Like, 'cause that's how thoughtful they are. Because you'd have to point to something.
Yes.
If you're going to explain it in that part.
That's right. I did. I did have to work. That was the other thing. It was that I had to also reference the board. I wasn't just saying it. I had to be like looking at the board and know how to like correspond to an actual board. I had to just learn too many things.
Yeah.
My tiny little puny actor brain, like it can't handle all that.
Now we're in season 5 during this. We're at 503. Was this the era in which Patty referred to where you're getting your makeup done and you just open the script the first time?
Kind of, yeah. But with stuff like this, I would learn it the night before. If I had something like this, I think that's what made it extra frustrating, is that like it's not like I just picked it up and was like, oh shoot, I can't believe I can't memorize this in 30 seconds. Like I worked on this.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, for the most part, when I had just like basic
I don't know,
dialogue.
a half a page with basic back and forth. Sure. Makeup trailer.
That morning. That morning, baby.
Well, see, and that's also part of it is knowing how to quote unquote save yourself. If you don't have to work at home and exhaust yourself the night before work, then that's fine. I'm completely completely understand that. And I would assume everyone else, I hope, would as well.
I will say, I will always read it. I will always read it because if I see it, then it's in my brain. If I have I don't have like an actual clinical like photographic memory, like that's a real thing. I don't have that, but I do have probably if photographic memory is a spectrum, I'm leaning towards more photographic memory.
Sure.
Like
if it's a spectrum.
What?
If it's a spectrum.
If it's a spectrum. I think it's all a spectrum. You know.
And before we go on to this last beat, or this next beat rather, you say, I'm going to go call Carly. And then you mentioned Brad. But Carly, wonderful Blaine Saunders, this is when she started to drop out. She's only in one episode in season 5, one episode of season 6, and then one episode in season 9.
Wow.
Yeah.
And then
I was
she wasn't an episode of season 9?
She came in for, remember the New Year's party? Remember that?
Didn't she have a baby though?
Yeah, and there was a reference.
Like Carly.
Yeah. And to try and get her out of the party, to keep you distracted, was like, you probably need to get home to that baby, and like ushers her out.
That's right. Okay. Moving on to this beat number 2. Are we only on the beat number 2?
We sure are. We had a lot to say about that.
We did have a lot to say. All right. When the Hecks have come home from church, they find Axel complaining about his new roommate, Kenny. And when Frankie and Mike say they won't pay an additional $50 a month for a single dorm, $60 for a pond view, Axel tries to make the best of the situation with Kenny. But Kenny refuses to budge from his computer and to help clean up their dorm. Actually, he just kind of sits there. I did like the again, classic, the like, Axel says something, Sue says, really? Then he says it again, like Brick says, really?
Yeah, exactly. And also, I don't know how interesting this is, but there was a tiny change. It was when Frankie says, we can't afford that, Axel. Mike's wearing a belt he found on the bench or whatever.
Yeah.
It was originally supposed to be jacket. That's what's written in the script. So things like that, when we say like word perfect, there are script changes that will happen, I don't know, not frequently, but every once in a while, where I'm sure costumes is like, you guys, it's still, when this airs, it's going to be like, October. It's still warm. It's not cold yet. It's bright and sunny. Mike's not wearing a jacket. So then probably they, like, Tim is like, okay, let's make it a belt. Or Eileen and Deanna's like, let's make it a belt.
Or I would venture to say, like, I would bet that they couldn't agree on the level of shabbiness of a jacket, especially a jacket that maybe we've never seen him wear before. Or if it's his existing jacket, but now we're just we're like retconning that he found it on a bench or something. I would venture to say that it's more in that vein. And they were like, let's just make it the belt. It's funny. It's still funny with the belt. We don't need the jacket. Honestly, I'm trying to think in my head. I think belt is funnier. I don't know why.
Yeah. I would agree. Especially just like how you see the tuck of it with the white t-shirt that's underneath the plaid.
Yeah, how he like, hold it up. Yeah.
Actually, I bet you're 100% correct in that. I stand corrected. I'll bet you. You and I both don't know in this particular instance, but I'm guessing you are right.
Correct. Also, that's the correct thing to say, Brock.
And I don't know if we've said this before. We've said that Tommy, who plays Kenny, is very funny, but also I think maybe people don't know, that's a wig he's wearing. Because I'll never forget when I first met him. One, because I don't know what his face looked like. And then two, he wasn't in that hair when I eventually met him at a rap party. It took me way longer than it should have to like let it click that it was Kenny, because so many things I hadn't seen that were actually of Kenny's, of Tommy's.
Yes, me too. I remember seeing him at a rap party and being like, hi, nice to meet you. You're like, oh my God, oh, it's you. Oh my God, okay. Then he was just like this like charismatic, delightful young man.
Lovely, and it's so nice.
So sweet.
Frankie and Mike knew Brick's easy transition into middle school was too good to be true. When they finally get, quote, the call and have to go to Principal Barker's office, they're shocked when she tells them that Brick hasn't gone to a single one of his classes all year.
Yeah.
Hilarious, hysterical, Principal Barker, Rachel Dratch.
Just came in and just like, bam, just knocked it straight out of that park.
Thank you for inviting us in today.
I didn't invite you. This isn't some cocktail party at your neighbor's fancy rec room. You're here because we have an issue.
I was hoping, so right before this, about a couple hours ago, I group texted Eden and me and Tim Hobart, the writer of this episode. And I was like, Tim, what do you remember about Rachel? Eden and I are about to record. Do you have anything fun? Because you were on set all week. And I'm just going to give you a direct quote. I remember her being incredibly funny and cool, period. Right.
Yeah, he gave us nothing. Thanks, Tim.
But that, honestly, I could have told you that. She is incredibly funny and very cool.
Yes, she is. She is an absolute delight. I totally understand why that she just keeps working.
Yeah. There's some deleted half line, which I wish they would have kept because I can hear it coming out of her mouth when she says, I have 425 kids to worry about, right? Mm-hmm. There's a added to it. She goes, I have 425 kids to worry about, plus a school hamster with rodent diabetes. That's funny. It's very funny. That is
absolutely funny.
But it's good. And it's always too good to be true, where like he has been going to his classes or you're worried that he hasn't gone to a single one of his classes and you just know that something's up.
Yes. And I knew that something, there was a twist to it. Mm-hmm. Obviously.
Did you know that you were the twist before the scene came up?
No.
Okay.
No, I did not. I didn't even remember what the twist was. I just knew that I was like, no, that doesn't make sense. Like, why would Brick Brick loves school. Like Brick, that's his one thing. But no, I did not. I don't remember filming that scene even.
Well, I mean, that's a scene like that speaking of that little flash of you and Brick, truly like minus the setup of it, because it's one singular shot. If you're talking about the amount of time that's like press record is 3 minutes at most. You're probably doing 3 takes, call it a day. Because there wasn't a close-up of you, there wasn't a close-up of him. It was just
100%.
Bam.
That was one I memorized that morning.
Sure, of course.
For sure. No question. I might have memorized that before we started rolling. Like 20 minutes before. Okay. Here we go. Sue is busy applying for jobs, and after multiple applications to restaurants at the food court and a successful interview that took place on the bench next to the plant by the sunglasses kiosk sometime between 3 o'clock and 3:15, Sue gets the job at Spudsy Malone's. When she is sent home with a uniform and their new tuna and cheese potato to try, she spins out. She hates the potato. How is she going to live up to the button that says, I love it? So that was not tuna and cheese. Because I believe at this time I had gone vegetarian. So
I was going to say, what era of your dietary restrictions are we in?
It was a nasty mush. Because like if you're not doing like a specialty like vegan, like I don't know what they put on that thing, but it was genuinely disgusting.
My gut says so I'm locking into props. They didn't do this, but if I'm Skip, if I'm Christina and I'm doing this, I would do oatmeal with some red food coloring to make it like diced
pink,
tuna. Yeah, pink.
I honestly don't even think they went that far with it. Like it probably was oatmeal. It was like an oatmeal thing, or like I literally can't think, because they make like fake tuna. It's not very good. It doesn't taste like tuna. Actually, It can be good. It's not tuna though. If you're looking for fake tuna, it's definitely not tuna. But it was just disgusting. It was mush. It was like Big Brother slop.
Sure. Oh my gosh. We can't get on this tangent. It's going to start in 2 weeks. We cannot.
We're not talking about Big Brother. I'm just saying it's like Big Brother slop.
There it is. Okay. And so my biggest and heartiest laugh came from this scene where you're in the laundry room, where she's typing the email, and it's not scripted. And it's another one of Tim's that I know was thrown out right there on set. When you said, Dad, guess what? And he goes, good, honey.
Oh my God, yes, 100%. That's not scripted. I laughed also.
That is not scripted. That truly made me shout laughter.
Why are you so angry?
So many reasons.
Dad, guess what?
Good, honey.
Yeah, that was wow.
So 2 lines that I vividly remember being the funniest parts of the episodes from Tim's episodes were just delete your history when Brick's on the computer from Axel, and Dad, guess what? Good, honey. That is so funny to me. That is the magic of Tim Hobart. That is incredible.
Although, I mean, I also would imagine that could have been Neil.
Sure. But then he would have had to prompt you to say, Dad, guess what?
Wait, Dad, guess what? Isn't even in the script?
Correct.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Oh, that's crazy.
I know.
Oh, wow.
Because you just start out, whatever the next line is like, look at my uniform or whatever. You just like start as opposed to entering with the Dad Guess What. All of Dad Guess What and Good Honey was ad-libbed either from Neil's mind or Tim's mind. Or was it your mind?
Definitely not my mind. But honestly, Neil could have prompted. It could have been like, he could have talked about it with Tim and then been like, what if I don't know. I do think we needed, I think we needed something there. We needed like something to get us into that scene.
Clearly, because, oh my God.
And I can't believe that was on the fly. So good for Tim and Neil.
Yeah, it's so funny. Okay. Once Mike and Frankie find out Brick's not lying about ditching classes via his whisper tell, Frankie writes a pointed email to the principal about her mistake. And after a second meeting with them and housing a handful of M&Ms, they find out Brick actually hasn't been going to his proper classes. Turns out, after misunderstanding advice from Sue, which she learned the day of right before they filmed that little pop, Brick decided to switch classes and pick his own schedule. Oops. So Principal Barker unloads 6 weeks worth of homework for 5 different classes on Brick.
I really didn't mesh with the pre-algebra teacher, so I switched to geometry. I'm not a big fan of U.S. history, so I tried European history, which wasn't great, but I got a seat by the window, which I loved. I swapped Spanish 1 for Spanish 3, and my biology teacher was a bit dry, so I decided I'd give shop class a whirl, which I'm very happy I did, because I'm halfway through building what I'm told is a birdhouse.
So here's my thing about this. Because you went to public school, right?
I sure did.
Okay. You are so, at least in LAUSD, you are so precisely accounted for. Like, I mean, clearly you are because, like, you know, there was a meeting with the principal being like, he's not in any of his classes. There is no way you could just sit, like, we took roll call so it was so aggressive, our roll call, our like present here, you know, whatever, that if someone was just in the class, they would be kicked out immediately. Be like, this is not your class. You were not accounted for. Like, you are a number. In LUSD, in my middle school of 3,000 kids, it was 3,000 kids. Like,
That's
you
a small university.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. I love saying that to Nick also, who went to like a little private school. And I was like, how many kids were you in your graduating class? And he's like, 20.
Oh my
like,
God.
Okay. No. You were kicked out of that class. You were sent to the front office and you were sent to your class.
Sure.
So I was like, how is he? That's not possible. That's not possible.
It wouldn't be a recap without you poking at the logic. Wait, which actually brings me to an important question, which when you got your, you know, Eden share, so they were like, Sally Struthers, and then they were like, here, and they went, Eden share. Did you say here or present? And did you raise your hand? How would you do it?
I definitely raised my hand. I said here, or I said, like, I did actually not like attention in school.
Oh.
So no. I was
just on television then?
Yes. I'm not kidding. I don't like attention in life. I like attention in very specific areas. When I was like, I did musical theater in school. When I was on stage,
right?
You bet this ham showed up. But like in class, no, I wanted to stay in the back. I wanted to stay hidden. I didn't want anyone to look at me or talk to me. Like, I didn't want. So I was never like present.
You weren't one of those annoying kids that, because oh God.
No.
His name was Billy. He lived down the street from me.
Oh God,
he thought
we
it was
all know
the
Billy.
funniest thing to go president instead of present.
I'm dropping my mic. I'm dropping it on the floor. I'm done.
But
Billy,
when it came to the theater, you were a Christmas ham with like a maple glaze on top.
100%, like a glitter maple glaze, edible glitter on this ham, baby.
And then, that's funny. And then did you catch? Because I caught it. The ADR line from Patty when they're in the kitchen confronting Brick.
No, I didn't actually.
Yeah, I will say, of all the ADR lines, it's the sneakiest and best one I've seen so far in the ones that we've watched. But when she's confronting, I'll pop it in right here. But she goes, "Did you? Are you just in so deep you feel like you can't get out of the lie?" That's ADR, and it's so seamless, but it's there.
I swear I could see her lip flap going to that. No,
it was pretty precise, but it does sound that much different.
Wait. How do you know it's... Wait. I'm confused. But that was a scripted line.
Yeah.
Why was it ADR?
I've had to do that before where I've had to match my own lips for ADR.
Oh, that's why I didn't clock it. Oh, I always
yeah.
clock it when it's like on your back, when it's like,
Oh, yeah.
that
And
was
your head
popped
is
in
doing
there.
something different than with your voice.
Well,
But
yeah. And also just like, oh, they clearly put that in. They needed like some exposition or something.
Yeah. No.
Oh,
So something must have gotten messed up in all the takes. And so, or they used audio from a different take, but it's not that same audio. It is different. And it's sounds slightly different than like her normal back and forth, but it's there.
I have been going to class.
Are you lying?
No.
Are you just in so deep you feel like you can't get out of the lie?
He's not doing his tell.
Wow.
Also fun things like as I'm like reading these scripts and going through, the writing is just so good. I mean, this is not normal, or this is not unusual when it comes to sitcoms and stuff, but like when she goes big bungling bureaucracy, if anyone watching this, you can hear the alliteration and you're not getting an LOL out of something like that, but it does interject you in the world of sitcom using the alliteration, using the word bungling, which I don't think I've ever said that word until just now. But like those kinds of things you kind of pick up on, like there's certain sitcom level writing, and I think we do it quite well because that happens all the time. This alliteration, these funny uses of words, anything for Patty to like chew on and play with as an actor is just it's like fertilizer for the comedy.
Yeah. Totally. That's a great way. Oh my God. Quote.
Whoa.
Quote alert. It's just fertilizer for the comedy.
And then, oh my God, wait, there's one other deleted line. So before Mike and Frankie and Brick enter for the second time, Principal Barker's on the phone. We hear the end of her phone conversation and she goes, yeah, one fat kid passed out on the playground and now they're all up in my butt about putting carrots in the vending machines. Gotta go. Again, I can hear her saying it. I can absolutely hear her saying it.
We all were deprived of more Dratch. Okay. It is a new morning, and the Heck family converges in the kitchen, only to find Axel being a jerk. Wait, why is Axel there? When the rest of the Heck family says he should be up at East Indy instead of sleeping at home, Axel storms out, ransacking random supplies along the way. But when he overhears a girl named Beth complaining about how her roommate moved out, he comes up with a brilliant plan. He plays matchmaker with her and Kenny. Kenny's receptive upon hearing that she's on level 5 of World of Warcraft, but unfortunately, that doesn't make Axel's situation any better. When they're not playing video games in their dorm room, they are loudly making out. Ugh.
You want to know a gag-worthy thing? And
yes.
I don't know, but in the script, it made it sound like we were supposed to... Okay, I'm just going to read you the action line. Axel says... She's also on level 5 of World of Warcraft. Kenny spins around.
Oh!
What?
Oh, did
To
they
me,
decide?
My question for you, that sounds like we were finally supposed to see his face after 2 episodes, correct?
I guess, yeah.
Kenny spins around intrigued. Crazy. So I wonder if it was always like Eileen and Deanna were like, no, we're never going to see his face. Or if in that moment he was supposed to actually turn around and at some point they decided actually just open up that crate so she can sit down as a chair.
I think it was on the day they were like, it's funnier if he doesn't even turn around.
Yeah.
It must have been. Because also like sometimes writers will write stuff just to like, they're just writing, they're not necessarily picturing it in action. Sometimes they are. It's
Sure.
not to say like sometimes of course if you're writing a big action sequence of something happening where there are like they have to picture them walking or something.
Right.
Yeah, sure. But like a lot of times it's just when you have it on the page, it's different. It's just different than it is in real life.
Right.
And so like they could have like that he was just all Tim I'm assuming tried to write was like it move the story along like yes, he said he approves.
Correct. That catches his attention in some sort of Kenny way.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So like it doesn't really and so then when you get on the day and you realize like, oh, actually that ruins something. Seeing his face ruins something, whatever. Like how do we get that effect doing something else? So wow.
Good. Isn't that funny?
Wait, do we see his face though ever?
Yeah, because he has lines and all that. Yeah, we eventually
But
see.
later when he has lines. Like do
Yeah.
we see his face?
Yeah.
Okay.
Eventually. Okay. I'm not sure how long it takes to get there, but eventually. I think they ride this bit for a while.
Okay, do you want to know my another qualm I have?
Always.
but this is not like unique to the middle. This
Okay.
is as someone who like plays games, as you know, it kills me when they have people fake playing video games, and it's like, that is not how she would be on the joystick. That's not how she would be controlling. You don't just sit down and then, and now she's like just pressing a bunch of buttons with her thumbs. It kills me every time when they have someone fake playing video games and they've clearly never played a video game in their lives.
So you're saying G messed up in casting?
Yes! I think that girl should be blacklisted from Hollywood.
I thought you were going to say, when you were starting that, I thought you were going to say, on Kenny's screen, you're like, none of that made sense. That world is completely like, doesn't happen like that.
Well,
Video games don't.
That's a given. I'm
Sure.
not even trying to, like, I knew that game wasn't gonna fly.
It's the same idea, though. It always bugs me when people are like typing on a keyboard and they're just like this the entire time. And I'm
Yeah.
like, that doesn't happen. Like, you would go finger by finger, delete, and then ba 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 ba. Not like everything all at once.
I have a sentence that I am always typing on the keyboard. If I ever have to type, I'm typing real words.
What are you
It's not
typing?
necessarily. I'm typing. Hi, how are you? My name is Eden. That's good. That's good. That's good. And then sometimes I'll do 3 exclamation points because I got to break it up, or I'll
Right.
do a little scroll on the mouse, and then I'll do enter. But like I'll do an arrow. I'll go this, and I'll do delete.
Yeah.
And I'll type again. But like, hi, my name is. Hi, how are you? That's good. That's
funny.
good. That's good.
That's good. That's good. 3 times in a row. Enter.
Yeah.
Oh.
Otherwise,
right.
it is like you need like a peas and carrots type thing equivalent for the keyboard because it just looks insane otherwise.
Correct.
Okay.
All right. Final beat. It's Sue's first day on the job at Spudsy Malone's, and it's tough. She tries as hard as she can to tell customers she loves the tuna and cheese potato, but it eventually leads to a tear-filled breakdown. A hysterical breakdown, I should say. And when she tries
Crash
to
out, if you will.
Yeah, when she tries to quit, the manager, who eventually is named Edwin, assures her it's just the potato of the week. Relieved, Sue plops her hat back on, ready to stay on board. There's an extended version. What they did is you had this long paragraph. They had like one pop scripted, and then this long one. And I think they piecemealed together all of those to create the montage of you.
Oh, is that
breaking
true?
down.
Is it just one?
Let me check how many. I think it was one. There was a couple pops, but they edited it a little bit more.
I think they did a good job in that.
I would
edit.
agree. That's one where it's like, that's funnier with the
Way funnier,
with the
yeah.
pops. Will you read that little extended line that they ended up cutting from it, please?
Of course I will. And I remember saying this. I remember the brush my teeth line.
Yeah.
I literally remember this. Okay. I'm sorry. I don't love it. It's terrible. Maybe because I tasted it too close to when I brushed my teeth, but I really don't think so because it's stuck in my braces and I can still taste it and it's horrible.
That's perfect.
Yeah, it worked. That escalation really worked.
And so I also was looking at your gorgeous food acting this episode, and I think I figured out what you do. Because especially in that last scene, while the voiceover is happening with the 4 of you on the couch eating the potato, rewatch it 4 different times. All 4 of your faces go on crazy journeys, and they're all different journeys as you try that potato. It is so funny. But I think you do take an actual bite. You go so slow, so you only have to do one in that take. And I think you just keep it in the center of your mouth, and you just kind of like let it live on your tongue without it getting all up in your teeth.
Yes, I definitely do minimal chewing.
Right.
There is very, very, very little chewing going on. And that is kind of what I remember. I was like, oh, wow. Also, I will say the Invisalign, as the years went on, like I got a new set of braces every year. Because
you did? I
teeth
didn't
shifted.
think I knew that. Yeah.
And by the time, I think season 4 or 5, it was much thinner and tighter. It was because it's not real Invisalign. It was
Right.
like real, because my first set of braces, it was not made by like VFX people or like people who make stuff for Hollywood. It was my orthodontist who was like, okay, I've never gotten a request like
I
this.
got to do this, and I have to see Timmy. I have a tightening at 3.
Exactly. Literally, like I gotta like key this palette expander, but it's okay. So they weren't dealing with like special effects stuff. They just made what they had there, or made stuff with what they had there, which was real Invisalign and my real brackets, and they just like glued them on. So like it was so bulky before, and the technology increased.
Yeah. And I will
So I think
say,
it was a little easier.
I don't know if we mentioned this, but I do remember your first iteration or first couple seasons, whatever, the literal Invisalign covered the brackets. Like there was,
Yes.
and then eventually it was on the outside. So there wasn't like the Invisalign sheath covering the
Yes.
actual brackets eventually in the later versions of it.
100%. It was this season. It was this season was it within it, or maybe season 4 actually,
where they
when
changed
they
it.
started putting like gluing the brackets on the outside so it looked more like real braces. But that created its own set of problems where because then it was like real braces, I had to end up putting wax. Did you ever have braces?
Oh, yeah. Because it freaking hurts.
Yeah, remember the wax?
Oh, yeah.
So like I had to put real braces wax on the little brackets. It was cut up my gums.
Yeah.
Trade-offs, but it was easier to talk with. So
Yeah. And it looks better because it's not with a sheen of the...
yeah, they don't look
whatever.
as fake. I guess people didn't have a problem, but I thought it looked really fake in the first season.
Yeah. Well, Eden, that was gorgeous. That was wonderful. And we have a blue bag grab just for you.
Oh my God. Okay, well, I'm nervous.
Okay. So, true or false? With the 5 questions, easy breezy. True or false? After the church took the van back, on your walk home, you were carrying a pool noodle.
Pool noodle. Let me see. Hold on. It's definitely carrying something. I'm contriving a memory now because that sounds familiar. I think I was just carrying the toilet paper, or was just Patty carrying the toilet paper? I'm gonna say false.
It's true.
It is true. I knew I should have I thought it was so, you're so good at that.
True.
Could
It was
have been.
blue.
Okay.
Okay. When you're going through applications, you say Tacos Olé has this, but the Yamamoto beef bowls is
Smell delicious?
Smells amazing for Yamamoto beef bowls, correct? But Tacos
taco-
Olé has
I don't know. Taco Tuesdays? Like has Taco Tuesdays? Has the fun shirts?
super cool uniforms.
Has super cool uniforms. Damn it!
I'll give you half a point. You got the smells amazing. Smells
Okay.
good. Smells amazing. Question number 3. What small kitchen appliance did Axel grab when he stormed out of the kitchen and headed
Blender.
back up? Okay, perfect. Knew you would get that one. And in that same scene, when you enter in your nightgown,
Yeah. Ooh, what's
the
on
pink
it?
nightgown, what's on it? You can probably
cream
guess if you
cone?
know Sue. Oh, no.
Is it a rainbow?
There's a rainbow, and there's also an animal.
A sunshine?
Of sorts.
A sun? Or a
No.
kitty?
No.
Oh, none of those things. Balloons?
Unicorn.
A unicorn, of course.
That was your fifth guess, right?
Oh, that was my 5th guess. Did you catch? I was looking. My tattoo was covered. Had no tattoo on my foot.
I didn't catch that.
Yeah, they
but,
covered
well,
my tattoo.
I'm glad I didn't catch it because it was covered.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. This is tricky, I think. So as we were saying, the potato of the week was the tuna and cheese. When Edwin is there at the very end and he goes, "Oh, the new potato of the week after tuna and cheese is,"
Shrimp colada or something.
I'll give you again half a point. Thai shrimp delight.
Try Thai shrimp delight. I knew it had shrimp in it because
Yeah,
I was
the
like,
shrimp is good.
I almost vomited hearing it.
Good.
Okay, yeah.
Well, Eden, loved this episode, but I'm so excited to talk to you. Say her name.
Rachel Dratch.
Ooh.
Queen Rachel Dratch.
Eden, we just started recording, but even before we pressed record, our guest was making us laugh.
Cackle. Rachel,
All right.
tell us what you need to tell us.
Tell us what you need to tell
I was
us.
just explaining that that I was on a plane trying to move around and I hit my face with the computer. So I have a little injury here. That's not a smear of lipstick. It's a
No.
computer self injury. Yeah. Anyway.
I think
Hi,
that's our
everybody.
first computer injury we've had on the podcast.
Okay.
All right. So, Eden, today's guest is, I think you and I can both agree, is comedy royalty.
Yes, that's how I would describe it.
Born in Massachusetts, she moved to Chicago after graduation, where she joined Second City and the Improv Olympic. She's got a degree from Dartmouth. Hello, excuse me. Her own book and a Tony Award nomination.
Thank you.
You know her from just a tiny little show, Hope It Gets Off the Ground. I think it's in its first season, Saturday Night Live, where she brought you iconic characters, including Debbie Downer, Wine Country with her SNL co-stars, Broad City, Dr. Odyssey. I was also in Dr. Odyssey. I was in the gay episode.
Oh, that
I
came
Turned
right
Orange.
after mine. Yeah, okay. Yes, I heard about that.
30 Rock, a personal favorite of Eden's, and most recently, the viral, hilarious video from Amy Poehler's podcast with the tangled headphones, and so many more other things.
For you guys, but yeah.
She's got her own podcast, Woo Woo with Rachel Dratch, that releases every Wednesday, so she's our competitor. But the reason she's here today, she played Principal Barker in 2 episodes of The Middle's 5th season. Please welcome Rachel Dratch.
Hello, everybody.
My goodness.
Hi.
Hello.
Hello.
We are so... I do need to tell you, you are the first guest that Brock and I have been like... Are you, like, nights before, like, are you nervous? I'm nervous. Are you nervous? I'm nervous. She seems really cool, but oh my God, I'm so nervous.
Oh my gosh.
You make us nervous, Rachel Dratch.
Yeah, you make us nervous. We love you.
Oh, thank you.
We really love you.
Thank you.
I first want to say, the way this whole roundabout way of getting you here is, first and foremost, I have to say thank you so much for what you and Billy said about me on your podcast about bros. That was the sweetest thing ever.
Oh my God. I was watching that on a plane. I didn't hit myself with the computer, but I was watching Bros.
Yeah, I was going to say, no lip injury on this one, yeah.
And I was laughing so hard. And your scene of the 4-way, oh my gosh, you were so funny in that. It killed me. It was just so funny.
Thank you.
Yeah.
There's some videos that are circulated online of people watching Bros on the plane, and a lot of the ones that have made it through are the straight older men who just like skip 10 through the 4-way scene.
Well, I watched it all.
What?
Yeah, they don't want to watch it on a
crazy.
plane. Yeah.
Yeah.
On no headphones, right? You just played it loudly.
Right, yes. For all to hear, yes.
Okay, so we want to talk about, obviously, we would like to talk about The Middle, but I do, having to do with The Middle, did you know, you knew Neil Flynn previously, right?
Yeah, Neil and I started out back in the day at Chicago, Improv Olympic. So we all, I moved out there after college, and then there's this whole mess of people like, that's where you went back then. I mean, there was the Groundlings in LA, but Chicago was just like this improv mecca. So people were there. I mean, Neil was from Chicago, but people just came from all over, and we all were starting out together. And then, eventually one person would get on a sitcom, be like, oh my God, like they made it, whatever. So it was just fun to see everybody kind of trickle up and help each other out and all that. So, but yeah, Neil was a fixture back then with me and the whole Chicago improv days.
Wow.
And then he made it.
Were you ever on that softball team that
No. But do you mean the one in LA, like that Chicago gang?
No, they used to play. That's how Pat Finn. I don't know if you know Pat Finn,
yeah.
but all the improv troops up in Chicago, they would have softball games against each other, and that's how Pat Finn met Neil Flynn. And they play, Friends on The Middle together as well.
Yeah. So when you worked with him, had you worked with him? Obviously, you were with him in Chicago, but had you worked with him on screen professionally before this?
Probably not. No, because he was one of the guys, he made it, I don't remember the timeline, if I was on SNL already, but he was on Scrubs first, right? Yeah, Neil was working in Hollywood and all that. So no, I hadn't worked on screen with him, but we definitely, when you were in this whole improv community, we all hung out together, all the time. So it was your social life, it was your weekend, it was your performing improv, and then, we just ate, breathed, slept improv all the time. It was I couldn't imagine a time where I wouldn't be improvising every day, which of course is what it's like now, and it's a whole different thing. But back then it was our drug of choice, So, yeah.
I guess that brings me to a nice transition where you're so used to having to, or you enjoy the luxuries of improving and playing with ideas and that sort of stuff. And then you come to, I don't know if you remember this, but The Middle has been notorious, and they like to be word perfect, and whatever's written on the screen or whatever's written on the page, that's what you're going to say, and that's what's going to make it on screen. Do you find that you enjoy something like that? You like playing within the lines, or are you I want to throw in a fun ad-lib here and there?
Okay, that's such a good question, because when you said that, I remembered that, because this was a long time ago that I did the show, but they wanted every word, right? You had to have it. And that always makes me so nervous, because when you're going into someone else's show, you already are is this how I did? Is this how you guys want it? So you're already, I always feel a little tentative. And then to know you have to get out there and get every word exactly, adds this extra level of anxiety for me. But on the flip side, see, I'm probably the only person that's going to say this, but I don't like when I go on to a show and they're and for this one, just say whatever you want. Because I'm That's kind of like, it's not really improvising, it's like joke writing. And that's different from being in an improv
Right.
scene. Like, yes, sometimes it's a world where, like, you get an idea, but a lot of times I'm not good at writing jokes on the fly as opposed to just being in the moment with an improviser. So that actually is something, like, I get nervous about that too, because they want you to, like, be this great writer when someone else has sat there crafting a line, you know? I don't know. How do you guys...
Right.
Where do you guys stand on that?
I cannot believe that honestly is the most comforting thing I've maybe ever heard.
Yeah.
Because I have, and I think I've never heard it put in that like verbiage before. That's exactly the difference. It's not improvising. It's fully joke writing.
Right.
And I do not like it. I don't like, if I know I'm going into a scene and it's like, here's an outline for the scene and the scene is improv, then fine. If it's like, curb style, whatever, but completely agree when they're like, and now just do one, say whatever, you do whatever.
Right.
Or like in audition sometimes they're like, just play with it. I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm not going to play with it because I don't want to also butcher the joke by like adding handles and stuff.
Right.
And also,
it stresses me out.
Most comedy scripts that you get, I think, for the most part, are good, or you wouldn't have said you do it. Like, I already like it. I already like what's there. I like the jokes there. So, but yeah, then occasionally if I'm feeling like whatever, the muses are smiling on me, then like I'll think of a good line. But some people I know, well, like Paula Pell, like she's a writer. Now she's acting too all the time, but Paula Pell from SNL, she used to write on it. She could come up with like, 5 different alt lines because that's just how her brain works. But I'm not really like that all the time. So
Right.
That really does make me feel comforted that someone who comes off very like effortlessly funny, like, no, you're a comedy genius. Like, you also do need to just sit down.
Right.
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 yeah, that's not, my mind doesn't really like just spew out lines all the time, but yeah.
When it comes to, because like I think what was nice too is watching your stuff from the show, from the middle, is that I think people think of you as like these big quirky characters, and yet you're entering into an existing world, but you were still able to bring that like X factor that I know and love from you, and I think audiences really connect with as well, without feeling like you completely stepped into a different show for your scenes. I thought you did a really good job.
Well,
with that.
that's sort of always the dilemma. Like, that's what I mean when you're going on to a new set. I mean, usually you've at least watched the show, so you know the vibe. But it's always like, I don't have big acting questions. I'm usually just like, how big do you want it? Like there's like sketch world, sketch world, sitcom world, and then movie world, and just sort of finding that just takes practice, like finding the line of like, because sometimes on SNL we have Oscar-winning actors on, and they're trying to like play the scene. A sketch is so different energy-wise, and like this doesn't have to be real. This is an exaggerated world, but
right.
Then it's like finding that, like, because sometimes if I don't do that many movies, but sometimes if I'm doing a movie, like, I always think like, oh, you have to be smaller and like quieter for a movie, and then I look and I'm like, I didn't make any choices or anything because I'm just trying to be like, I'm in a movie now and I'm gonna bring it all down here,
right.
And that's not really who I am. So, but it definitely takes practice, trial and error, and the errors will be seen in perpetuity because you're new to a movie or whatever.
And I guess in that same line of thinking, have you shot it yet? The Native American Community
we
Center
shot the pilot, yeah, and I don't know if it's going to go or not, but we did shoot this pilot, yeah.
Yeah. I just read the script a couple weeks ago. So like with something like brand new, you don't have episodes to watch. It's very funny, by the way. You don't have episodes to watch. How do you figure out where you want to place this character? Because I assume you didn't audition for it. I assume they offered it to you.
Well, in that case they did, but sometimes I have to audition for sure. But no, that's a great question because I was like, I kind of got the style of it and the vibe of it. But then you're like, this is the pilot. Like, you're choosing. It's like when you see like the original Simpsons and they're drawn differently and all that and their voices. It's like,
right.
Sometimes like I've heard that on Will and Grace. I didn't see this, but I think like in the pilot or whatever, like, Megan Mullally wasn't this character. She was someone more normal. I don't know, because I have seen. But, like, if this goes, like, that might be the case with this, because I feel like I did, like, I was playing 3 different vibes, and I don't know, like, which ones will get cut together. Like, I didn't know how, like, sometimes you see, like, for example, like, you see Schitt's Creek, and you see Catherine O'Hara having this, like, very giant choice, with his voice and everything. I was like, because this character I was playing, like, it could be a giant choice, but then I'm like, but I don't want to be, like, sticking out on the pilot. Like, I just want to be part of this community. So I was a little confused. I probably shouldn't be saying this, but if it comes out, I kind of just played it. I played it pretty real, but I was wondering afterwards, like, if this goes, like, am I going to want to be more, like, I don't know, like, hippy-dippy, like, with a more of a voice or whatever. I played it pretty much like a hippy-dippy that's myself. So that was a very long answer to say I haven't done many pilots where it's like my character in this is definitely like this. So the show is this Native American Community Center, and I guess and all the cast is Native American. I'm the only not Native American person in it, and they told me like because a bunch of the cast like grew up on reservations, the writers. And they tell me, like, well, there's usually, like, one nice white lady working in the reservation. She's really into the culture and everything. And then, like, there's one nice one and then one mean one. Like, you're the nice one. There wasn't a mean one in the show. But so she's someone who's, like, you know, wearing turquoise. But it's been gifted to her. She's not trying to appropriate anything. But she's just, like, adjacent and respectful and enjoys being part of this community and helping the community. So that's the character, and definitely dressed in some, like, you know, airy-fairy clothes. And so could be, like, SNL, like, Lovers, you know, branch of the tree, or could be, like, a regular lady. And I don't know. We'll find out if the thing gets picked up, where she lands.
I'm crossing my fingers. I thought the script was hysterical.
Yeah, it was fun. It was fun.
I don't know if you experienced this, because, like, I think you don't even, I felt the same way when when I watched the middle pilot, I was like, oh, wow. Like okay. I feel like I didn't make any choices. I was kind of nervous. I feel like I did a million takes of different, like, I don't know what I was doing. I was 17. But then, like, you know, everyone talks about, like, writing for you eventually. It becomes this, like, symbiotic thing. Like, the writers write for the actor, but then they, like, the actors will, it's this, you know, you sort of find it together. Like, when you do a repeat character, like, other than 30 Rock, which obviously you played 8 million characters so it wasn't quite the same situation. Yeah. Like, when you repeat characters on SNL, do you find when you watch, like, the very first sketch that you do of a character versus, you know, later on, is it sort of a similar thing, though, where you're finding it, or? No,
because for SNL, most of the characters were generated from the actors, for the most part, and then you get together, you write it with another actor, another writer, and then occasionally you get, like, kind of handed a character by a writer, just, like, bolt from the blue. But for the most part, no, because, like, there's no, like, you know what that character is, so there's not a lot of nuance happening. Those SNL characters. So, you just do it at the table. It gets last. It gets picked for the show. You get to do it, and like, it's pretty much. I mean, that's just a much more familiar, like, territory for me than trying to be, you know, real in a scene. Like, then you want to know how much are you, like, leaning into the comedy and how much are you just, like, being true to the scene. And that's always, finding that line is always a thing. I feel like I'm, like, inside the actor's studio right now. I'm getting very technical. For anyone who's not an actor, just wait a second. Yeah.
Okay, I actually have a question then about playing, like, characters, or, like, playing a character really iconically on a show like SNL. Because I don't know if you've experienced this, but, you know, because you've done 8 million things. You've literally played 1 million characters just on 30 Rock. But you've a resume, like, 85 years long. But when I don't know if you've experienced it, when people hear your name, like, I feel like there's one character that people will associate you with. And I experience this in life when people are like, Sue Hag. And I'm like, yeah. I played this character, but I understand that that's the first thing you think of. Do you experience, like, when people hear your name, because I know your most famous SNL sketch is probably Debbie Downer.
Yeah.
Do people, like, identify you in public?
Yeah, I mean, people will say, like...
Are you famous enough that it's like...
No, people will be like, hey, Debbie Downer, you know, that kind of thing. But I think it's kind of different from being on a sitcom where you're, like, you're known as this one person to people for, like, you know, week after week. But, like, I get called all kinds of characters and recognized for random things. But yeah, Debbie Downer's probably the one that's people know me the most for. But it's funny, like, I don't mind it at all because I'm like, sure, I just say, hey. Okay. But it's funny because a lot of people
do you
also
embrace it? Do you like?
Oh yeah. It's always people always nice. Like walking around the city, people come up to you all the time, but they're always, or they just be like, hey, like they'll be like, I like your work. Like people in New York, they're used to seeing actors, I think, a lot.
Right.
So it's always very positive and nice, and yeah. The funny thing is, this is kind of weird, but Amy Poehler and I get mistaken for each other all the time. Like, which we're like, I think because, when we're wearing wigs and we're both short with blue eyes, and so we often get called each other. Like, she'll get called Debbie Downer, and I'll be like, hey, Amy, like, all the time. And sometimes I'm like, hi, like, I don't correct them because it happens so often, which is surprising if you see us, but I don't know. I'll take it. I'll take Amy's career in addition. So, yeah.
I guess that actually brings me to a question that I have for you. I think, speaking of Amy Poehler, is and your SNL days, Eden and I, this podcast was kind of born out of, I played Sue's best friend on the show, played her gay best friend. So we started out on screen as like best friends, then we became best friends in real life. And that's the whole thing of this.
Yeah.
And I feel like whenever I see, or a handful of times when I see you guys in the press, you and the people from your SNL era, a lot of times the interviews or personal stories revolve around you guys being friends with each other, hanging out. I guess, what does that feel like? What's your take on friendships that start from a quote unquote workplace that have like gifted you a real true friend, outside of the workplace?
Well, I mean, first of all, I came up back in Chicago with Tina and Amy way back when. I knew Tina much better than Amy. Amy was like, they're both younger than me, so Amy was like a little bit, one step behind in the chronology of it all. But then when we get to SNL, I mean, there's something about SNL that's very frenetic, and it's a whole ride. It's like positives, negatives, everything, the pressure, and like trying to come up with stuff, and then you're doing this live show, and you're with everyone that you've ever been on SNL with, like you've been through it with them, like in the best way, and also the most like anxiety. So there's sort of a natural bonding that happens with anyone that's been on the show. Like just now we had the 50th anniversary show, and it was just really fun to see. Like some people I keep in really good touch with, other people I don't. But when you see them there, it's just like it's like a time machine, and it's like just naturally bonding. Also, to be doing comedy with people is just fun, So it's also, in spite of the anxiety, it's like a fun bonding. It wasn't like we were doing some major drama, like Shakespearean tragedy together. Like, that's not my bag. So it was just, like, also you're having a lot of laughs. You're with the funniest people making each other laugh all the time. And like, admiring the talent that's there on stage with you, too. So all that kind of mixes in to make you, like, the soft spot for everyone there, whether it was someone you work with all the time or someone that you only were in scenes with occasionally. There's like this, heart connection sort of thing. And then beyond that, like the people I keep in really good touch with, I mean, a lot of the women stay in touch, and I'm in touch with Will Forte and Seth. And but yeah, there's so what was I trying to say here? Also, like, only those people know what it was like to be on SNL in terms of the process and everything. So that's also kind of a connecting force. And even, I'll say us, like all the improv people from Second City, kind of the same thing. Like, you're up there, you don't know what you're going to say, and you're just like, passing the ball around like this. It's very bonding and exhilarating, or when you bomb, it's bonding in another way. Like, that look when you're bombing and you're just looking at the other person like, oh, shit. Like, that's also bonding, too, so...
There's something to be said about having, because like Eden is someone in my life, a friendship who I don't have in any other friendship like that. I feel like I've seen every angle of who she is as a person, because you do see them from a comedy standpoint where their vulnerability is just wide open, and you see them in work mode and in business mode, but then we get the benefits of like going out to dinner over, and having a wedge salad together. We get a little bit of every piece of them, which is a friendship that I cherish.
You've also seen me, and I feel like this is a little bit, it's not the same as what I have, or what I know to be true about the process of SNL. I don't think my like demeanor could ever could ever be in that like work environment. I think I'd have a complete mental breakdown. But it's sort of similar, you know, like if you're working on a single cam, long running, long hours. Like Brock has also seen me after 18 hours trying to get a speech, and I just like can't get it. I can't get it, and I'm like, I can't get it. I can't do it.
Yeah.
And he's seen me at my absolute
Oh,
worst.
for sure.
Right.
I mean, all the SNL people, we've seen each other at our worst as well, for sure.
Yeah.
And the best,
And the
too,
best,
because then
yeah.
you have the victories of, like, when Tina leaves to go and do, you know, and does 30 Rock, and it's a giant success. And there's a certain sort of pride that you can take as opposed to just someone who's just watched her on TV, because you've seen her raw talent, all the things that didn't make it on screen, and it's becoming this giant success that you as a friend probably know she's always had in her.
Oh, for sure. And that's another thing, like when we were starting out way back, you know, with the Neil Flynn days, like, you know, no one knew, like, no one really understood, like, well, how do you make it in show business? Like, how do you go from this stage to the next thing? And there's no path, as you guys know. Like, well, you started young, so, I mean, that must be a whole different experience. But not knowing, like, how do you get to the next level? And then, you know, one person does, and then it's like, I don't know, everyone kind of pulls each other up and helps each other out. Yeah.
Did you guys all start? Did you and Tina and Amy Poehler all start at the same time though on SNL?
Oh,
like,
SNL.
What was the
No.
year?
So Tina got hired as a writer first, and then 2 years later, I got hired as an actor. Then I think a year or two after that, Amy got hired as an actor. But yeah, we all knew each other.
Okay.
Yeah.
And was it like because of her, or I mean, obviously you have
it
you have
couldn't
the
have
talent,
hurt.
but-
Yeah, I mean, like I'm sure. I mean, I had been seen for SNL so they would come and scout at Second City. Back then, they would just come look at the Groundlings, Second City, and like Second City Toronto, and then some stand-ups. You know, it was before the internet, so like, you know, you couldn't get discovered because you were just doing your own material. It was just like the people had to go see you do your thing. And so that's where they used to scout, and they would come by like not like clockwork. It was like they came by my first year on main stage. I was very green, sort of, and like they flew all these people to audition, and I wasn't one of them. I was like, okay, I guess that's never gonna happen. Then they came back 3 years later, like, and then I was more experienced, and then I got to audition. But then I didn't get the job that year, and then I got to go back again the next year and audition again. So I was sort of on their radar, and then somewhere in there, that's when they hired Tina. But yeah, I'm sure, like, you know, Tina sort of vouched for me and Amy, and you know, gave us the whatever thumbs up or whatever. Yeah.
Well, it is fun. You didn't get your first SNL audition. I auditioned for SNL, but
Really?
I didn't go in person or anything. It was one of those like everyone, if you wanted to submit a video, somebody was like, yeah, do this. Here's all the descriptions. They didn't open it. They sent a link. They didn't open it, and thank God, because I just rewatched it. Rachel, I'm not joking when I say it's the worst audition I've ever put up in my entire life.
Oh no. I mean,
You should have seen me in a blonde shake and go Joan Rivers wig. It was terrible.
I'd like to see that. I don't know. This was when I auditioned. It was before, as far as I know, no one was sending in tapes even. Like it had to be like the live. I mean, this was like back in the old days, you know, like. And then people send in, like, your agent can send in a tape, as it was called back then.
Right.
Yeah. Anyway.
Thank God no one saw it, because it was rough.
I saw some stuff. I saw some clips. It wasn't.
Don't lie while Rachel's
your
on this
best.
podcast, Eden. Don't you dare lie.
You know what I saw, though? Because I've tried to, like, some people along the years have asked me for advice in auditioning for SNL. And the one, if any listeners out there, the one advice I would give, piece of advice, is a lot of people let the character go on too long in their audition. Like, once it's like, once they get what it is, like, move on to the next character. You don't have to let every little joke in that you've prepared in for this character. This is a very small slice of your audience. This advice is to the people that are going to be auditioning for SNL. I know it's a type, but that's my showbiz advice for that.
The mom of 3 listening in Seattle, I think she's about to send in a
needs this
tape.
information.
Well, Rachel, thank you so much. Before we let you go, tell everyone about your podcast,
Yes.
Woo Woo
And I
with
might
Rachel
have
Dratch.
rope you two into doing my pod. I have a podcast called Woo Woo with Rachel Dratch, where, I mean, it's just all things woo woo. So it's some of my celeb friends, and it's some people I just know from life or whatever. But everyone who comes on tells some sort of woo-woo story, whether that's a ghost story, a psychic moment, even going to like get a bad tarot reading or whatever it might be. We just had someone on talking about psychedelic drugs and all. So it's just everything woo-woo, spiritual, whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's what it is.
Well,
so
I
check
can't.
it out.
Yeah.
I have to tell you, when I realized this is what your podcast was, I was like, oh, do I have anything? I was like, wait a second. I have the most woo-woo. I have the most woo-woo story. Obviously, I'm not going to tell it here because I'm going to have to save it. But it will make, because my husband is like the most anti-woo-woo. Like,
Yeah.
And he was part of it. And he can't deny it. Like, there's no denying it because it happened to both of us. It's an undeniable. It's a crazy. I mean, it's a really short story.
That's
it's
okay.
like a short thing.
We
But
talk about other things too.
Okay.
yeah,
And do you have one?
it's amazing though.
Me? I'm a very big. I get deja vu all the time,
Okay.
so we can talk about
All right,
that.
we'll talk deja vu. We can stretch that out.
Okay. Yeah.
Can we? I think we should go in together, and I should try to convince Brock that these things are real because he is.
Okay.
Can I out you
Skeptics
for a
are
second,
welcome.
You
Brock?
can out me for a little
Skeptics
bit.
are welcome.
Yeah. Okay. Great.
He's a big skeptic.
We had
Big skeptic.
I reference Poehler all the time because she's a big skeptic, and she came on and talked about the Enneagram personality test. I don't know if you guys know what that is. Anyway, so it does. You don't have to.
Yeah.
What's that?
It's this whole like personality, and it's not even super woo. Like people use it in the workplace and stuff. It's sort of like you take this little test and it tells you, not only what type you are, but like how you like to process information or what you see your role as with people. So it's actually not like as woo as some other stuff, but you can cut that if you want because I went on about that. But
No, I'll let you know what my Enneagram number is.
Okay.
Yeah.
You get like a number. I think I'm like an
Are
8
you?
or something.
Okay,
An
I'm a
8
9, the peacekeeper. But
Oh,
I
sure.
honestly don't know. I'm not even. By the way, I'm not even like a super woo person. It was just like I'd heard a few crazy stories over the years, and I was like, "What if we just did a pod?" Because every time you're sitting around with friends, like drinking wine, end of the night, someone just chimes in with some like ghost story, and everyone's like, "What?" And I was like, "What if we did that as a pod?" So that's what we're doing. So it's been fun. Yeah.
I love it. Well, it comes out every Wednesday. Check it out. It's super fun. And Rachel, we can't thank you enough. Thank you so much for doing this.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're the best.
So wonderful.
I had to go back and watch my scene in the middle because I didn't really even remember, but I remembered I was the principal, and I was very
It's
harsh
very
and
funny.
stern.
I have to say, yes, you did come in fully formed. I
Yeah.
was like, girl,
Okay.
she did her thing. She did the Dratch effect. Like, you did
Okay,
it.
good. All right, well, thank you
Yeah.
too, and
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
I'll be in touch to rope you in.
Okay, can't wait.
All right, thank you.
That was great. What a delightful human. And I'm genuinely excited. I really want to go on Woo Woo.
Yes, I know. Me too. She every time we would like email back and forth, she'd be like, "Do you guys want to come on the podcast?" And I was like, "Yeah." And then the next time we communicated, she goes, "So do you guys actually want to come on the podcast?" And we're like, "Yeah."
I think we actually need to like send an email being like, let's set up a time.
Let's set up a time.
Because I need to tell this story.
Okay,
This story
yes.
needs to be told.
I also, one, she's so generous, but two, I found it really interesting kind of talking about her like Rachel Dratch thing, which we talk is like feels so effortless and this and that. I actually found it really interesting because she just filmed a new pilot for NBC. Hopefully it gets picked up. We'll see. But talking about like when it's a brand new, you don't have anything to base it off of, where do you calibrate your Rachel Dratchness in this new sort of iteration?
Yeah.
Fascinating. Loved her insight.
And I really appreciated hearing. I didn't get to say this to her, but I did really appreciate hearing like some, because like talking to Troy and hearing how actory he is.
I know.
Like how seriously he takes everything. I'm like, what am I doing? What am I doing? And so hearing that like someone who I respect, who I feel like is similar, like her question when she was like, yeah, I usually just ask like, how big do you want it?
Right.
These are my questions also. How fast do you want it said?
Yeah.
What are your like, and I do think to some degree, like I think there's value in both. I think to some degree, especially on sitcoms, directors do appreciate the like directness of like, what do you, no, give me an actionable, I don't care about my choices. I don't care about my prior motivation. I want to know, do you want this, do you want me to say it fast? Do you want me to say it loud?
Right.
Like,
It also kind of like, it reminds me when we talked to Jamie Babbitt, which it actually dawned on me as I was watching the kitchen scene. Was like when Jamie Babbitt was talking about how Meryl Streep was just like, where do you want me to stand? And I'll do the rest from there. I remember like Lee would come in for like, say like that big kitchen scene where Axel comes and collects all the different things and blah, 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 blah. And there's a choreography to it. She would come in, which I appreciated when I was in big scenes like that. She's like, I'm going to put the camera here and Axel, you're going to come and you're going to swoop this way as you grab all your stuff. We'll make sure we have things. And like Axel can do his own Axel thing. Charlie can. But I did appreciate Lee would do that all the time, particularly in those big scenes of like, I know where I'm going to place the camera and I know the different levels of coverage I need. And this is the general direction I need you to go. Sprinkle in your magic throughout there. I appreciate that kind of stuff. And it's just a little bit of directness and that combination of the logistics, which is film and television, and, you know, the art of being an actor.
It is. There's very little art. We talk about that a lot.
Yeah.
It's like 20% art. And that 20% is very important.
It's crucial.
But it is a 20%.
Yeah.
Like it is it's mostly hitting your mark and finding your light and knowing your lines.
Or sometimes if you're like me, just directly looking down on camera and then stepping up to it.
Yes. Which I didn't even notice. I genuinely, and I always notice that stuff.
Good. Eden, let's get to our listener email.
Okay, here we go. Hi, Brock and Eden. This morning, as your delightful podcast kept me entertained for at least half of my long commute to work, I chuckled at the description of awkward interactions with fans or people who think they recognize you. I never recognize anyone. However, if I was in proximity and recognized you, I would be too awkward and hesitant to say something. My outgoing oldest son, Elliot, does not share my reservations about such things. So far, 2 members of the middle cast have so kindly handled what were likely experienced as awkward interactions. Oh my God. First, when Elliot toured Chapman University, he immediately spotted Brock, who was guiding another tour. This type of thing never happens in the Seattle area where we live, so Elliot was ecstatic. The interaction went something like this. Elliot.
Do you want to play Elliot and I'll play Brock? Because she wrote out some dialogue for us.
Perfect. Yes.
Okay, great. You play Elliot.
Elliot. Are you Brad in the middle?
No. I'm just kidding. Sorry. Sorry. Go again. That was a joke.
Elliot. Are you Brad in the middle?
Yeah, I play Brad in the middle. My name's Brock.
Wow. I can't wait to tell my mom that I met you and that you go to Chapman. She loves you.
I don't know if you get that a lot. I get that all the time. My mom loves you.
All the time. We're mom people. I always say it's my main demographic. We get the women over 50 and like 10-year-old girls.
Yes.
Who are honestly my people. That's me. Okay, the email continues. I chuckled when he called me that afternoon, not about Chapman, which ended up being the college he attended. Wow. But about meeting Brad. I'm sure hearing that someone's mom loves you was super exhilarating for you, Brock, as a 21-year-old man. I'm sure hearing that someone's mom loves you was super exhilarating for you, Brock, as a 21-year-old male.
It was.
However, he was correct. I definitely did and do love you. Second, years later, we happened to be staying at a resort where we were enjoying the pool. This time, my daughter Jess, who shares my love for the middle, we still watch it when we were together, which isn't often as she lives in California now, spotted another cast member. She said, "Mom, no way, that's Dr. Goodwin." It was, oh my God, Jack McBrayer. Mm-hmm. Before I could disappear under my towel, Elliot swam over to him and confirmed his identity while pointing me out as a huge fan. Again, Jack McBrayer handled it like a champ, as he always does. He couldn't have been nicer. And yes, I am a huge fan. And Eden, I'm still disappointed that I was working out of town the night you brought your show to Seattle. Oh, that was my question. Did you come to Seattle? Oh, I'm so sorry. I had friends who were able to go, and they loved it. If I could have been there, I would have. Much love to you both. You are so gifted, and I am excited to see how your careers continue to develop. All the best, Jill. Jill.
Isn't she sweet?
So sweet. So sweet.
I love that Elliot ended up attending Chapman.
I know. I wonder if it was because of you.
I don't know. Perhaps. Mm-hmm. I was walking backwards being like, this is Leatherby Libraries. This is Ardros Forum. It costs $60,000 to go to Chapman.
Do you actually say the price of tuition in the tour?
We used to have tour guides who would just like tell it how it is. And I used to kind of make a joke about it where I would like, parents, are we all sitting down? I'm about to tell you the sticker price. I make a little
That's
joke out
good.
of it. Yeah.
Yes. Good.
So if you want to send us an email or a voicemail, speakpipe.com/middlingpod. And as we wrap up, Alerts members, remember your bonus episode was released last Sunday, so make sure to check that out. That's all happening at patreon.com/middlingpod.
Yes. Next week, we are recapping episode 221, Mother's Day 2. And it's just us, Brock.
Oh, I love you. I'll see you next week.
Love you.
Bye, sweetie.